Hello again, all this Eatmopie, and patch 5.4 is here! And all these changes are driving me loopy. Patch 5.4! We got so many changes, it's absolutely ridiculous. And I'm just gonna bust them out as fast as I can. Over on the side here, there will be, over here somewhere, someplace, there will be annotations to skip ahead. Glyphs, talents, rotation, stat priority, all up in here. So if you don't want to watch the boring stuff, you can skip right to what you need. Okay, first thing we're going to talk about is glyphs. Glyphs. They're boring. Who cares? They're glyphs. None of them are absolutely vital for a Windwalker, except Glyph of Touch of Death. I don't know why they haven't made this an actual, they just made the spell have a 20-yard range yet, but apparently they like to be like that. So this is the only one you absolutely must have. If you're not using Glyph of Touch of Karma, you're doing it wrong. That's it. Now they have changed some other glyphs, and I'm just going to go through these really quickly. Glyph of Afterlife now has a 100% chance to drop a healing sphere when you kill something. It's great for leveling, but that's really about it. Glyph of Detox, this is another new one. When you detox something and it actually removes a harmful effect, a poison, a disease, it heals you for 5% of your health. Enduring Healing Sphere, another new one, but, well, it's changed anyway. It's 3 minutes now. Fists of Fury, still awesome, especially versus melee. It's useful in PvE as well. This is very, very good. It increases your parry chance by 100%. I'll talk about that in a second. Glyph of Fortuitous Spheres. Falling below 25% health will automatically summon a healing sphere near you at no cost. It cannot occur more than every 30 seconds. Our healing spheres heal for a lot. They heal for a lot. You want to see? Let me show you. Let me fall. Take a little damage. Oh no! Healing sphere. 50k. 50k. Come on, give me a crit. 50k. 50k. Whatever. Sometimes you'll pop 150k and then you're like, oh damn. Yeah. I'm using this right now because it's amazing. It's really, really good, and I'll talk about a combination later on that's very useful for PvP. Okay, other new ones, blah, blah, blah. Nimble Brew. Clearing an effect with Nimble Brew now heals you for 10% of your health. That's actually pretty good, but I just don't have room for it. That's the only reason. Rapid Rolling, another fun new one. For 5 seconds after using Roll, your next roll will take you 30% farther. It's pretty awesome. Again, I just don't have room for it. Glyph of Sparring. Since I stopped using this, I don't even notice. You know, this is one of those things that it sounds awesome, like it's actually doing something, but I really have never even noticed it, and I don't notice now that I don't use it. So, yeah. Targeted Expulsion. You can cast your Expel harm on somebody else. It heals them for 50% of what it normally would. Not really a Windwalker thing, but maybe in Arena. I don't know. Maybe. Touch of Death. Touch of Death is a very apparent one, and a lot of specs will use this, but in PvP, in patch 5.4, there are so many specs and classes and specs, however they say it, that are hard to finish. They have abilities that make them stronger when they get down to like 30% health or 25% health, or it heals them when they get down there. You know, Second Wind is crazy in 5.4. Crazy. And, yeah, so Touch of Death, basically, the way that we finish somebody off as a monk, as a Windwalker monk, is we need to set them up. We get them low, we stun them, we Fist of Fury, stun them some more, we silence, we disarm, and we Touch of Death. And that's pretty much every single fight. We need Touch of Death. So, not every single fight, but pretty much every fight. And, so I'm using this glyph now. At least for duels and arenas, I'm using Glyph of Touch of Death. Touch of Karma we talked about. Transcendence changed. Not really worth talking about. Zen meditation, blah, blah, blah. As far as minor glyphs, Zen Flight's the only one that really is good, other than Glyph of Blackout Kick. If you're PvEing, Glyph of Blackout Kick is a DPS increase for you. Use it. That's it for PvE. For PvP, we need our freaking heal from our Blackout Kick, because monks are squishy. That's the bottom line. We're squishy, and there is a lot of burst, and I can't stress how much burst there is. You'll see. It's crazy. And we need all the heals we can get, because that's a major part of Windwalker survivability is our self-healing. So I recommend this for PvE, not for PvP. And that's it! Glyphs! They're boring! Let's move on. Talents! It looks like you didn't move, Eatmopie. I didn't. I'm still in the same place. Let's talk talents really quickly, because they're boring as well. There's been a few changes, and there's a few things that I do need to talk about. First of all, Celerity. Use it for PvE. I like it for PvE. You don't have to use it. It doesn't matter. It's good. Momentum, not really that good for a Windwalker. It doesn't really make much difference. Tiger's Lust. Pretty much a must-have for Windwalker PvP in patch 5.4. There's a lot of CC. There's a lot of roots. There's a lot of snares. And having an ability that you can get out of those without using your trinket is very important. So if you're not using it, start using it. Practice using it. Here's a macro. I will link this in the description down below so that you can just copy and paste it. And what this does is allow you to target your mouseover and Tiger Lust them, your arena partner, somebody in a battleground. If you're over top of them, you press your button, it will cast it on them. If you don't have anybody under your mouse that is on your team, it will cast it on yourself. Very useful, nice little thing. And that's the movement tier. Okay, healing talents. Now, here's the deal. Healing talents for PvE, they're all good. They really are. They're all good. Chi Wave is very thoughtless. Zen Sphere just got buffed by 15%. It's not bad at all, but it takes a little work. Chi Burst. I love this talent. What? Just watch this. Just let me hit you a couple times. Just let me hit you. I'm gonna hit you. And I'm gonna do this. And I'm gonna do this. And yeah, I love it. I love Chi Burst, but it's a 30-second cooldown. So it's nice burst healing. It's nice AoE. I just can't 100% justify using it. I really am gonna try and make it work, but it seems like it's a little bit on the lower end compared to the other two. Chi Wave, absolutely your best option for PvP, hands down. Possibly your best option for PvE as well. Now, let me show you why. First of all, you don't have to think about it. Second of all, that's a lot of healing. That's a lot of damage. That's all there is to it. Your best burst for your buck is Chi Wave. So, yeah, PvP, it's pretty much a must use. Okay, Zen Sphere, they buffed it 15%. Now, is it best for PvE? I can't say 100%, but it's pretty damn good, and it might be something you want to try out. So this is, I'm going to just show you this really quickly of how I would recommend using it if you're going to use it. First of all, you need to take my Tiger Lust macro and make a Zen Sphere macro for a mouseover, because you can have two up at the same time, and I'll show you here in a second. I'll put this macro in the description. You can just copy and paste it if you decide to use it. But Zen Sphere, you put it on yourself. It's a short cooldown, 10 seconds. While you're fighting, mouse over, another melee, use it on them too. This is AoE healing. Everybody is going to get healed. It's going to do damage. When it explodes, it does decent AoE. Then you cast it on yourself again. That's how it works. You just keep on doing that while you're doing your rotation, and it's a beautiful thing. You mouse over. Boom. Keep going. You don't even have to stop. It's fairly easy. You can see it does fairly decent AoE. So it's something to think about. I can't say for sure what is best. Chi Wave definitely for PvP though. Bottom line. PvE, it's debatable. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, the Chi generating talents. And I know I'm taking a long time to go through these, and a lot of people know everything, but I'm going to do it anyway, and you can skip ahead if you want. Power Strikes just got buffed. It now works with all of these different abilities: Expel Harm, Crackling Jade Lightning, Spinning Crane Kick, Soothing Mist. Still, for Windwalkers, it is subpar. It is not as good as Ascension or Chi Brew. If you're doing more damage with Power Strikes than these two, you're doing something wrong with these two. That's all there is to it. I've tested it extensively, and I'm just not going to get into it. Take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. Try it out for yourself. Anyway, moving on. Ascension. Absolutely a phenomenal talent. I've been using it for a long time at this point. Since they changed it in 5.2, it has been top dog pretty much without question. That being said, it is the thoughtless talent. You don't really have to put much effort into it. Doesn't give you a whole lot of burst or anything like that. It's energy regen and 1 extra chi. That's it. It sets up Tiger Fist of Fury a lot easier than having 4 chi. It just feels good. So that's the thoughtless talent. You're going to do really good damage with Ascension. That being said, Chi Brew got changed. It got buffed. 45-second cooldown. It now has 2 charges, restores 2 chi, and generates 2 stacks of Tiger Eye Brew. What's that mean? That means burst, baby. That's burst. We have some burst with Chi Brew. Now, between the two, there is about a 2 to 4k DPS difference. That's it. It's very slight. And sometimes I do better with Ascension if I mess up with Chi Brew, because you actually have to use your brain with Chi Brew. You got to use it at the right time. You don't want to waste Chi. If you use it and you have 3 Chi, you're wasting one of them. So you got to watch out. It takes some practice. But I could do more damage with Chi Brew, and it's got some burst. I mean, here's the bottom line. Boom, boom. I'm starting out with 4 full Chi and 24% increased damage when I use it. That's the bottom line. You got burst. You set it up, you build up 4 Chi, you start blowing it out, you're going to have 6 or 8 stacks of Tiger Eye Brew, and you're just going to blow somebody up much more quickly than if you didn't use Chi Brew. So, use whichever you like. This is the easy talent. This is the takes a little more thought talent. Both are very, very, very good. So, yeah. Okay, CC talents. Ring of Peace. They changed it a little bit. It looks pretty. It looks pretty. But, now this is another one you can use that mouseover macro for. I'm not right now, but you definitely could. So, you just have to change your Ring of Peace out with Zen Sphere or Tiger Lust in my macro that I have down below. It's very good, especially for us casters. Yeah, it's kind of a toss-up between Ring of Peace and Leg Sweep. They're both very good. They're both ways to set somebody up. Leg Sweep is a little bit better when it comes to finishing somebody off, and that's a big thing in 5.4. Can't stress it enough. But it's really up to you. If you got somebody in your group that has Ring of Peace, then you should take Leg Sweep. That's it. So, but charging Oxwave still sucks for Windwalkers. I hate it. I don't like it at all. It only has a 30-second cooldown. Still don't like it. Moving on. Okay, I'm not going to demonstrate these because it just doesn't really matter. Everybody knows what they do. Dampen Harm still sucks. If you have a reason to use that as a Windwalker, please explain it down below. I have never found one. I've never used it. Well, I've used it to test, and I've never found a use for it for us. So Dampen Harm, in my opinion, not worth it. Diffuse Magic. PvE, absolutely. You should be using this for PvE. Save your healers during that magic phase, that AoE phase. This is helpful for you. You see everybody else's health going down, and yours isn't moving. The healers like you for that. So, Diffuse Magic is very, very good for PvE. I like it for PvP because it reduces your damage taken from spells by 90%, and it reverses all the dots back onto the caster. So you're getting blown up by a fire mage, you got an awful lot of dots, you got combustion, send it all right on back to that fire mage. And you got a Shadow Priest. Send him back. Warlock, same idea. You get the point. It's very useful. I like it a lot. Healing Elixirs just got buffed though. And it's a thoughtless talent. You don't have to really think about it. And it is beautiful. It is very, very good. We're talking 75k heals from this. 15% of my health. That's about 70, yeah. 73, 70, whatever. Somewhere in that range. It's decent. Okay? Every 18 seconds, if you're using a brew, it's beautiful. But also, if you drop below 35% health, guess what? You have a glyph that does the same thing at 25% health. You know what that means? If you quickly go from 35 to 25% health, well, from 50 to 25% health, because that happens. Burst is crazy. Did I mention that? Burst is crazy in 5.4. It's crazy. You're using healing elixirs. Boom. You got your healing sphere, and you got your 70k heal from healing elixirs. That's taking you back up to 50%, 75%. It's a beautiful thing. So, healing elixirs definitely something to think about, especially for PvP. I may end up using it. I'm just not 100% sold on it yet. It's worth testing out though. Decide. It's the same with all of these talents for the most part. Use whatever you're comfortable with. Use whatever you like. Okay, the very last talent row. This is the DPS row. Cheat Torpedo. It's not really worth using as a Windwalker anymore. I mean, for fun, for screwing around, for being different, it's worth using. But for actual utility, for actual damage increase, it's not. It's just not good for Windwalkers. So, they changed Rusting Jade Wind. I'm going to talk about that. I'm using it right now, and that's what it looks like. You can continue to attack while that is up, and it will do a significant amount of damage. It will also work while you're CC'd, other than, you know, cycloned or something like that. But it's good, and hands down the best AoE talent that you have. So use it. And if you're in a cleave, put your images out, and they'll use it as well. It is the best for AoE. Now, single target in PvP, I've been testing it out. It's not bad. If you're about to be CC'd, it's not bad. But Zune, Shun, your big white kitty is still your hands down best burst and best single target bonus. So for PvE boss fights, your white kitty is the best. For burst, if you're trying to burst somebody, still white kitty is the best. AoE though, Rushing Jade Wind, I mean, it's only a click away. It doesn't take that much to change. Use this for trash because it is substantially better than any of the other talents for AoE. And that's it. That's talents. Choose whatever you like. Take my advice, don't take my advice. Let me know what you think down below. And let's move on. Okay, let's talk mastery. Actually, let's just talk stats. They changed our mastery again. Ugh. Every single patch. They're changing it. They're changing us. It's actually not that big of a deal this time. Now, when you generate a Tiger Brew charge, you have a blah blah chance to generate an additional charge. I have a 56.84% chance to generate an additional charge, but that's in my 536 gear. You know, that's good stuff. Freebie stuff. I don't actually have that gear, obviously. It's tier 16. Mastery becomes our best stat. What? Yeah, it is. PvP and PvE, it is our best stat now. Period. Yeah, by a significant margin. I have not done any simulations. I've put forth an awful lot of effort. I've made charts and reforged, punched dummies, regemmed, did it all in every conceivable reforge way that you can think of that makes sense anyway. Crit over mastery, haste over crit, you name it, I tried it. 10 tests at 10 million damage each. Mastery is better than crit, is better than haste. That's it. That's the Windwalker stat priority. Now you obviously need to have your expertise and your hit at 7.5, at least 7.5%. You don't really need it a whole lot more. Hit does, at a certain point, hit becomes a little bit more valuable because our white attacks do a fair amount of damage. But yeah, so mastery, crit, haste. That's it. You're looking at like a 10k swing between the stats. So that's definitely the way that it works. And if you don't like it, you don't take my word for it, try it yourself. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you come up with. And again, I haven't even looked at the Sims. I sat there for 5 hours the other day, just punching dummies over and over. Keeping the parameters exactly the same, as identical as I possibly can. The exact same rotation over and over and over and over. Reforging, regemming, every stat priority you can think of. And that's how it works. So, take it or leave it. Mastery, crit, haste. Before I move on, you got to understand that agility is hands down by far the absolute best stat there is for you as a Windwalker monk. Period. So all of your gems should reflect that. In PvP, agility and stam aren't bad for your blue slots. Red slots should always be agility. And yellow slots, agility and mastery. You could use agility and crit as well. It depends. It's pretty close as far as those two go for PvP. For PvE, agility and mastery is your best, hands down, the best thing you can do. There's no sense in wasting these set bonuses, these socket bonuses. 120 agility. It's not worth wasting that. You might as well get it and use your yellow gems. And that's just my opinion. So agility plus something or full agility is what you want to use for all of your gems, and reforging as well. Also dancing steel, double dancing steel, definitely seems to be the best as far as enchants go. And that's just my 2 cents. Let's move on. Okay, let's talk rotation really quickly because this is an easy one. And you know what? It's not even a rotation, it's a priority. So Tiger Palm, keep it up 100% of the time. When you get down to like 4 seconds, if you haven't gotten a proc to refresh it, refresh it. As far as procs go, Blackout Kick, Tiger Palm, use them before you use another jab. The very most important thing you need to do is maintain your energy, keep an eye on it, and don't waste chi. Rising Sun Kick, on cooldown as often as humanly possible. Everything else, you just kind of fit into that, keeping your buffs up, and using Rising Sun Kick. You want to use your healing talents when you have an opportunity, and my main goal in my rotation is to set up my Fists of Fury. Fists of Fury is a DPS increase no matter how you shake it. It's a good, you should use Fists of Fury in your rotation, especially if you're fighting under 5 targets. It's a bonus, okay? But you do not want to use it when your Tiger Palm is going to fall off. You're going to have a Rising Sun Kick available, or you have more than like 30 or 40% energy, okay? That's really about it. Tiger Eye Brew. You're going to gain these stacks really, really fast, especially in a raid because you have a mastery buff. You're talking 65% chance to gain an additional stack of Tiger Eye Brew every time you use 4 chi. It's pretty crazy. When I use them, my personal opinion is use them between 6 and 10. I usually don't get over 8 stacks before I use it, and I keep it up constantly, as often as humanly possible. So yeah, that's the goal. Between 6 and 10. 10, the maximum amount you can have is 60% bonus damage. That's at 10 stacks. And it's a smaller percentage for every stack less than that. But it's still awesome. It's amazing. It does a lot of extra damage, and you're pretty much constantly, 85% of the time, going to have bonus damage in your attacks. And we need it. We deserve it. So I'm going to quickly go through what it looks like when I'm DPSing slowly. And you can take from it whatever you like. Flying Serpent Kick every time to start a fight if you can. Tiger Palm, Rising Sun Kick. Keep an eye on your stacks. You're gaining them. Start spamming. Just like this. Spam. There you go. Now we got it. And now, you see, I went Fist of Fury there a little early, and look, I capped energy. I wasted a whole tick of Fist of Fury. Didn't need to do that. Now, as far as using your cooldowns, use them as they're needed. That's really about it. There's not that much to the rotation. You can see I let my Tiger Palm fall off, my DPS goes down. Don't do that. And again, I'm using my Tiger Eye Brew as often as possible. That's really about it. Nice and slow rotation. Doesn't take that much. Use your healing talents when you have an opportunity. And set up your Fist of Fury so that you're at low energy when you use it. There you go. 160k DPS. Just like that. Okay, we're going to talk about a few things that have changed that are worth noting. Storm, Earth, and Fire. Your images. That's what I call them. That's what they are to me. They're just images. Have been buffed. A good bit. One image. 75% of your normal damage. That's decent. That's not bad. Although he's missing, because it's a boss dummy. The second one is 60%. It was 60 and 45, so that's a big difference. What does that mean to you? Well, first of all, it means your cleave damage is now probably the best in the game. Yeah. That's what it means. Your cleave damage is pretty damn good. Now, you don't need to use, I'm wasting energy. I'm not really doing a rotation. I just wanted to give you an idea. We got good cleave. Okay? The next thing that it means is 75% damage means that you're not losing a whole lot by putting an image on a single target in PvP. You're gaining the fact that there are now two of you fighting the same target. Now granted, it's not going to cast your healing spells. Well, sometimes it is if you're not actually attacking yet. It's not going to use your big abilities. Sometimes it will Fist of Fury. Yeah. That's a beautiful thing. Because that's an AoE. It will use that. Your new Rushing Jade Wind. And I think that it's a good idea to use on a single target. If you're just fighting somebody, why the hell not? You're not losing that much. You're really not. Now, when you get down low, when you get somebody low, you need to finish them off in 5.4. And that's not always that easy. So you want to have as much burst as you can, and you probably don't want an image. But when you're just starting a fight, definitely going to be using a lot of images in the very near future. And I highly recommend you all try it out yourself. If anything, you're confusing targets. That's it. You're confusing them. Okay, PvP as a Windwalker monk is fun, but it's difficult. There's a lot of things that we have to do. We have to heal ourselves a lot. That is a big part of our survivability. That is a big part of our gameplay, is healing ourselves. The next thing that we do is we counter. We have lots and lots of counters. We have silences. We have stuns. We have disarms. We have slows and roots and all sorts of stuff to finish people off, to reduce their ability to kick our ass. Okay, I'm going to go through macros really quickly because there's a few that I think are worth using and some you might not have thought of before. The reason I have so many macros is because we have a freaking ton of abilities as a Windwalker monk. We have a lot. I don't have enough buttons for them all. I don't have a Razor Naga or anything like that. I'm a cheap ass. I won't buy it. I got a 4-button mouse. So I have a lot of hotkeys because I really don't click anything unless I have to. And that's rare. But I have a lot of hotkeys. So I use a lot of macros. First one I use, oh shit button. It's self-explanatory. Fortifying Brew reduces damage taken by 20%. Increases your maximum health by 20%. Healthstone heals you for 20% of your maximum health. Put them together and you get the maximum benefit from your Healthstone. And if you're having to use your oh shit button, you probably need a heal anyway. The next one that I use is castsequence Chi Wave Spinning Fire Blossom. In PvP, you're going to use Chi Wave constantly, all the time, pretty much on cooldown. So I put it with Spinning Fire Blossom that I don't use that often. And I put a whole bunch of them in there so I can use it often if I need to. And that's it. When the cooldown comes up, This is going to pop back to Chi Wave, and it's back to the drawing board. That's it. There's nothing else to it. See? There you go. The next one that I use that's probably the most important of all of them is my Expel Harm Healing Sphere macro. Now I have Healing Sphere way up here because I can't find any other buttons for it, and sometimes this macro breaks because it's World of Warcraft, it's not Rift. Rift macro system is just head and shoulders above World of Warcraft, unfortunately. I hate to say that, but it is. And yeah, we have to live with it. It doesn't matter, whatever. This macro will cast your Expel Harm, boom, and then it'll cast Healing Spheres. You'll have to click it again, or press it. Hopefully you're pressing the buttons. And then you click on the ground for your Healing Sphere. There's no way to make it so it just drops. It makes the reticle. That's the way that it works. In Rift, there's a way to do that. Whatever. Yeah, so that's it. You're casting Healing Spheres, and then when your Expel Harm comes off cooldown, it will be up again. There you are. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Now, one little tip that I have with this macro is if you are on the run, if you're trying to get away, you're in deep shit, you're out of energy, but you're in combat, you have to be in combat for this. Like so, you can use your Energizing Brew to get a couple extra heals out of this. Not a bad idea. Healing is a big part of our defense. I hate to say it, but monks are squishy. There's a lot of burst. You're going to have to heal. If you're not casting heals in Windwalker as a Windwalker PvPing, you're going to die a lot more often than you need to. And that's the bottom line. It is part of the gameplay. In order to be a good Windwalker, you're going to have to heal yourself a lot. Now, there are combos and things that you can try and learn, try and practice, but there's nothing really that I can teach you that's going to make you the best PvPer you can be. It's really just about practicing. You know, if you're not good at running around a target and punching them, then go practice. That's it. You do want to definitely keep your Tiger Palm up. Use your Rising Sun Kick on cooldown. Sounds a lot like PvE, doesn't it? And yeah, Touch of Death macro is definitely a plus. Anyway, that is it. That is all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has helped. Leave me comments down below. If I haven't helped you, if this has done nothing for you, let me know. Leave me comments down below about that too, because you know, I do try to make things good. I try to give you some quality stuff, but I do tend to ramble. So again, thank you for watching. This is Eatmopie, the awesome Windwalker 5.4 Guide of Awesomeness. I'll see ya.